The clock on my nightstand was ticking backward. I rubbed my eyes, trying to shake off the pounding headache that felt like a jackhammer drilling into my skull. My mouth was bone dry, my tongue sticking to the roof like sandpaper. My limbs were heavy, sluggish, as if I were waking up from anesthesia, or something worse. The red glow of the alarm clock read 55:90. No, wait, 9:55. But the numbers were wrong. They flickered, shifting, as though the clock itself was alive and mocking me. I sat up too fast, and a wave of nausea rolled through me, bile rising in my throat. My skin prickled, cold sweat dripping down my back. Something wasn't right. Something was very wrong. I grabbed my phone, but the screen was glitching, text flashing before disappearing into static. My call log was filled with numbers I didn't recognize, all repeating the same sequence: 666-666-666. The most recent call was from a number labeled U. My heart pounded in my chest as I tapped it. The call connected instantly. No ringing, no dialing, just silence. Then, my own voice came through the speaker, low and distorted, like it was being dragged through broken glass. Do not trust the man in the hat. He isn't real. My stomach twisted. That was my voice. But I had no memory of making that call. No memory of anything, really. The apartment felt wrong. The walls seemed too close, like they were bending inward, closing in on me. The air was thick, heavy, humming with a low guttural vibration that made my teeth ache. I could hear whispers in the vents, hissing, gurgling voices that didn't sound human. I needed to get out. I stumbled toward the door, but something caught my eye. A note stuck to my fridge in my handwriting. Check the mirror. My breath hitched. I didn't want to. I didn't want to see what was waiting for me. But my legs moved on their own, dragging me toward the bathroom. The door was already open. The light was on. The mirror was waiting. My reflection stared back, wide-eyed, sweat beading down my forehead. But as I leaned closer, it blinked. I didn't. I stumbled back, knocking over a glass that shattered on the floor. My reflection grinned, its teeth too sharp, too many, stretching wider and wider until its jaw unhinged. The whispers in the vents grew louder, more urgent, like they were trying to warn me or lure me in. I ran. I burst into the hallway, my heart hammering so hard I thought it would burst. My neighbor, Mrs. Delacroix, was standing at her door, watching me with a vacant expression. Her eyes were black, empty voids, and her skin was pale, almost translucent. "Are you okay?" I gasped, my voice trembling. She just stared. Then she opened her mouth, and my own voice came out, cold and lifeless. "Do not trust the man in the hat." I bolted down the stairwell, my feet slipping on the steps. The city outside felt too bright, the streetlights buzzing like wasps, their light flickering and strobing. Cars passed in a blur, streaks of color with no real shape, their engines roaring like screams. Then I saw him. A man in a dark suit and a fedora, standing at the end of the street, perfectly still, watching. His face was shadowed, but I could feel his eyes on me, piercing through me like knives. I turned a corner. He was there, waiting for me. I turned again. There, closer. I ran into a bar, dim lights, the smell of whiskey and sweat. A bartender glanced up, his face gaunt, his eyes hollow. "Hey man, you okay?" I gripped the counter, my knuckles white. I think I'm losing my mind." He nodded, unfazed. "That's what you said last time." The bar went silent. Every person in the room turned toward me, their faces blurred, shifting like melting wax, their features sliding off their skulls. I stumbled backward, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The bartender reached under the counter and pulled out a tape recorder. He pressed play. A voice filled the room. My voice. This is Subject 72. Loop complete. Resetting. The lights flickered. The world collapsed. I woke up in my bed, the clock ticking backward.